Amid the thick swirling fog of 19th-century London, a gifted young painter stood gazing down upon a young maiden lying motionless inside a cold porcelain bathtub. John Everett Millais never imagined the haunting melancholy beauty he captured upon canvas would later turn into an inescapable curse woven into real life. Tonight, drawn close to the soft warm glow of the burning hearth, let us embark together upon the lonely life journey of this extraordinary artistic genius. The highest peaks of artistic achievement are always shadowed by harsh hidden truths. With an almost obsessive devotion to perfection, John Everett Millais crafted Ophelia, infusing the painting with an everlasting sense of hushed stillness and ethereal sorrow. Beyond the framed artwork lay tangled love, hatred, and forbidden entanglements far more stirring and heartbreaking than the poetic tale itself. Sink gently into this quiet, forgotten chapter of old time. You need not strive to memorize every detail. May its calm flow cradle you safely into peaceful rest. He stood as the leading founder of the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood and also the most controversial seeker of artistic truth. John Everett Millais' life was interwoven with blooming flowers, flowing streams, and forbidden love affairs. As the delicate blossoms depicted in his paintings withered one by one, did his inner soul finally attain redemption. Follow the soft low whisper of gentle narration as we uncover the secret sorrows hidden deep within the canvases of this legendary master painter. A pair of vacant yet hauntingly beautiful eyes gaze into empty nothingness as a young maiden sinks slowly into clear stream water strewn all over with fallen petals. This is the most iconic depiction of the moment of death in all art history, breathtakingly elegant to the point of holding one's breath, yet cold enough to pierce straight into the soul. No one could ever fathom that the young model posing for the painting lay trapped inside an actual cold bathtub, hovering perilously close to the brink of death. Outside the frame, the man holding his paintbrush tight stared intently, capturing every gradual paling shade of her skin with an almost frantic intensity. His name was John Everett Millais. Tonight, accompanied by the softly flickering glow of the hearth, we walk fully into the untold life of this remarkable soul. Through this tranquil tale, you need not strive to memorize the dazzling child prodigy of the Victorian age. How did he follow his relentless pursuit of absolute artistic realism, only to topple the dominoes of his own fate with his own hands? Behind his poetic serene body of work lay countless unspoken obsessions, lingering regrets, and quiet personal tragedies. London in 1851 hung heavy with the thick smoke of coal fires and the restless clamor of the Industrial Revolution, yet John Everett Millais' heart lingered far away, immersed in the romantic charm of the medieval era. Hailed widely as a child prodigy of painting, the young artist settled himself beside the quiet banks of the Hogs Mill River, enduring relentless mosquito bites and the scorching glare of the summer sun, determined to portray every blade of water grass and every delicate wild flower in the background of Ophelia. With flawless precision he sat motionless for more than 10 hours each single day. Without fail he chased an extreme ideal he named absolute artistic realism. This stubborn devotion grew so deep it bordered on delusion, convinced that if he failed to paint every glistening dewdrop upon each leaf, the ethereal soul lingering within the scene would vanish forever. Once the outdoor landscape work was completed, the true greatest challenge still lay ahead. He had a massive porcelain bathtub moved into his private studio, asking the young model Lizzie to lie still within its cold waters. Lizzie was not only his endless source of artistic inspiration and muse, but also the betrothed of one of his closest friends. This tangled, complicated bond already sowed seeds of scandal and unrest beneath the surface of Victorian society. To keep the water mildly warm, servants lit several faint oil lamps beneath the tub, yet Millais grew so utterly absorbed in his painting that he never noticed when the flames flickered out, completely lost in icy, unheated water. Lizzie trembled uncontrollably, yet out of profound respect for the artist's sacred craft she held her rigid pose without moving until she fell deathly ill from severe cold, nearly losing her life entirely. This predatory, relentless pursuit of beauty cast Millais' reputation into sudden confusion and public doubt. Overnight the world began to ask, was he creating immortal beauty with his brush, or carelessly breaking fragile human life in the process? After the near-fatal accident that left Lizzie gravely ill, John Everett Millais never stepped back from his rebellious, unconventional path in art and life. He formed a close friendship with Ruskin, the most powerful and influential art critic of the era, yet during a peaceful journey through the misty valleys of Scotland he fell deeply in love with Effie Ruskin, the critic's lawful wife. What followed was a silent emotional war unfolding amid damp misty valleys and endless drizzling rain. To Ruskin, Effie was little more than a cold, lifeless stone statue, admired for beauty yet never cherished as a living soul. Beneath Millais' tender, observant gaze she regained warmth, vitality, and the soft humanity long buried within her. Forbidden love blazed brightly between them, glaringly out of place beneath the strict, rigid moral constraints of Victorian convention. Ruskin lived as a saintly figure who adored art and beauty yet cared nothing for physical affection or marital intimacy, while Millais Burned with passionate unrestrained emotion, a mortal man capable of both profound tenderness and reckless destruction. In the end, Effie filed one of the most remarkable annulment lawsuits in history, claiming her marriage had never been truly consummated. Millais married Effie soon after, sending shockwaves rippling through the entire elite social circle of London. Noble aristocrats turned cold shoulders toward him. The pure artistic circle he once cherished deeply labeled him a traitor and outcast. Still, Millais showed no trace of regret. He began painting endless portraits of Effie, capturing her gentle grace, everyday scenes of their children growing up, and warm intimate moments of domestic family life. Yet the price he paid was heavy and irreversible. To support his large expanding family, he was forced to abandon the strict pre-Raphaelite principles he once cherished above all else, yielding gradually to popular public taste, creating polished, commercially appealing paintings, beautiful in appearance yet lacking the profound spiritual depth of his early revolutionary works. As the years slipped quietly by, Everett Millais transformed from a passionate, defiant young visionary into a revered, towering figure within the British art establishment. He was finally awarded the noble title he had long coveted, appointed President of the Royal Academy of Arts, rising to become one of the most celebrated, successful winners within the worldly realm of fame and fortune. Yet in the quiet stillness of late night, alone inside his grand, slightly cold studio, did he ever glance back with longing at the idealistic young man who once painted beside the quiet riverbanks. In his later works, themes of autumn leaves and quiet solitude appeared repeatedly. The light and shadow in these paintings lost the sharp, piercing clarity of his youthful brushwork, softening into hazy, muted tones filled with subtle sorrow. A close friend from his early circle once recalled that after achieving widespread fame, Millais rarely spoke of Ophelia, as if the iconic painting remained an unhealed scar. Hidden deep within his heart, he gained every worldly honor, title, wealth, and public acclaim, yet lost the fearless, passionate soul who once lit oil lamps through cold nights, chasing artistic perfection upon the edge of life and death. Critics condemned his later years for surrendering to commercial greed, losing the divine spiritual inspiration of his youthful genius. Yet Millais remained silent, quietly painting one solitary wandering figure at dusk after another. His marriage to Effie remained stable and steady, yet the intense, passionate fire ignited in forbidden love gradually faded, worn away by trivial household duties, endless social obligations, and the dull routine of daily life. This cruel twist of fate stands as the unspoken contract between art and ordinary life. To gain worldly peace, stability, and acceptance, one must sacrifice the wild, reckless genius dwelling deep within the soul. In the final days of Millais' life, an air of quiet mystery began to settle over his spirit. He abandoned grand narrative-themed paintings, turning instead toward serene landscape pieces almost entirely devoid of human figures, focusing solely on the subtle interplay of light, shadow, and natural atmosphere. In the summer of 1896, weakened by terminal illness, Millais could no longer grip the heavy weight of his paintbrushes, yet he insisted his family carry his chair to the bedroom window. Each day he watched the slow sinking sunset over the rooftops of London, murmuring softly poetic phrases describing color, light, and the subtle tones of nature. Strangely, Ruskin, the man who had hated him bitterly for stealing his wife, also slipped into mental confusion and melancholy around the same time. Two men bound together by rivalry, love, art, and resentment for an entire lifetime, finally reconciled quietly with the world, slipping away into stillness one after another. Millais' passing plunged all of London into deep mourning. His grand funeral, held at St. Paul's Cathedral with unprecedented ceremonial honor and royal tribute amid the magnificent public farewell, only a small handful of people noticed a simple bunch of dried wild flowers placed quietly beside his coffin, unassuming and plain, those very same wild blossoms he once picked along the riverbank while painting Ophelia decades before. The entire cycle of his life, glory, scandal, rise, decline, and quiet surrender, seemed perfectly condensed within that withered bouquet, rooted in reverence for nature in youth, ending in quiet compromise with the reality of mortal life. Today, as we walk through crowded museum galleries and stand once more before the timeless canvas of Ophelia, that haunting, century-spanning sense of hushed stillness still strikes straight into the heart in an instant. Every morbidly intricate blade of water grass, every faint lingering sigh upon the maiden's lips stands as Everett Millais' final quiet testament, left behind for the world with the fearless madness of his youthful years. He froze an eternal dream upon canvas for all humanity to cherish. This tale reminds us that fate may wear us down into ordinary, quiet lives, yet those fleeting moments when we remained pure, passionate, and unyielding will forever shine brightly, hidden in some quiet corner of time. Returning to the question posed in the opening, was he creating eternal beauty or breaking fragile human life? Perhaps the answer no longer matters, for in that timeless moment, beauty and life were simply two sides of the same tragic, unescapable story. The tale has come to its Close on this cool tranquil night may you settle into gentle calm like the soft ripples of water captured in that famous painting. The story of John Everett Millais has faded away along with the dying glow of the hearth. Rest now and drift into peaceful untroubled dreams. Good night.